Okay, here's part 2 of section 2.2 for AAT. And we were working on completing the square. So this one's a little trickier, has a little fraction action going on. So remember, when we're completing the square, first thing we want to do is get the constant term to the other side. So I'm going to subtract this 2 to the other side, and I'm going to factor out that leading coefficient. Now if I pull out a 4 from x squared, it's just an x squared. But if I pull out a 7, I'm dividing by, pull out a 4 from the 7, I'm dividing by 4. So this is 7 divided by 4. So 4 times negative 7/4 is negative 7. So I have factored it out. Factoring out, you're actually dividing it out. So pulled out the leading coefficient, brought the constant term to the other side. Now, I'm going to leave a little space right there. I'm going to take half of the b term and square it. Well, half of 7/4 is 7/8. If I square it, that's 49 over 64. Okay, so half of the b term and then square it. Okay, whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Now, I didn't just add 49/64, I added 49/64 times 4 because it's inside the parentheses. So I'm adding 4 times 49 over 64. I left some space, but not much. Okay, now, here, we want to clean this up. This is negative 2, 4, and 64. This can simplify. 4 will go into 64 16 times, so this is 49 over 16, so I'm just going to write that for now. And I'm going to look at this perfect square trinomial. It's x minus 7/8. Okay, when we factor it, it's always going to be whatever half of b was, because 7/8 times 7/8 would be 49/64. 7/8 plus 7/8 would be 7/4, and then squared. Okay, so to finish it off, we need to add this number together and then bring it to the other side. We need a common denominator. 2 is 32/16, and then we have 49/16. So that is 17/16. So we're going to bring 17/16 to the other side. And so we have y, and it's positive 17/16, equals 4 times x minus 7/8 squared minus 17/16. It's positive over here, and we're bringing it to the other side. Okay, on D here, be careful with ones like D because they're not really in the form that we're used to. So first we need to get that y alone with the constant. So maybe I'll add y over here, and I'll have y and my 731 together. And then I'm going to bring that 162 over here. So that's negative 9x squared minus 162x. Okay, so the first thing in completing the square is bringing that constant term over with the y. Then the next thing is to factor out any leading coefficient. So if I factor out a 9, 9 times 18 is 162. So now be careful. If I pull out a negative, this is what I was talking about earlier. If I pull out a negative, I need a negative times a positive would be a negative. So if you pull out a negative, you've got to change the sign of everything in those parentheses. So we're going to leave a little blank there to complete the square, and we have y plus 731 on the other side. Okay, so to complete the square, to make a perfect square trinomial, we have to take half of 18 and square it. So we're going to add 81. So adding to the other side, I have negative 9 times the 81 because it's in parentheses, which is negative 729. Negative 9 times 81 has to add to the other side. Okay, so 731 minus 729 is just a nice little 2 after all that mess. We have -9, and we factor this. We have x plus 9 squared. Last step is to get that y alone, so we're going to subtract the 2, -9, x plus 9 squared minus 2. Really take your time on this. Lots of places to make a mistake. Our vertex is now -9, 2, -9, -2. Our a value is -9. Okay, so A and B here, rewrite each of the following in vertex form and graph. So we could graph these just using opposite b over 2a, but we're going to complete the square first. So we can call this f of x just y. We're going to bring the constant term to the left, and we have x squared minus 2x. So to complete the square next, we take half of -2 and square it. So half of -2 is -1, and if we square it, that's 1, so plus 1. So we have x squared minus 2x plus 1, but whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. Don't forget that. So we got y plus 9 equals, now this is a perfect square trinomial, so I can factor that. That's x minus 1. Remember, it's always just going to be the half of the b term. Minus 1 squared. Now we bring that 9 over, and we have x minus 1 squared minus 9, so the vertex is 1, -9. Our a value is just 1. So to graph it, we go to 1, -9, which is down here. Our a value is over 1, up 1. Over 2, up 1, 2, 3, 4 times a, which is 4. And there's our parabola. Okay, B is kind of weird because it doesn't really look like any of the forms we're used to. So be careful when you have that. Look and see. I don't need to complete the square because I don't have but 1x. I already have x minus 7 squared by itself. So what if maybe we multiply everything by 2 here? If we multiply the whole equation by 2, we're going to have just y plus 4 because 2 times 1/2, that 1/2 is connected with all of this. So 2 times 1/2 is just 1, and that's just y plus 4. But then I need to multiply 2 times all of this. So we've gotten rid of the fraction, and now we're just isolating y. So we're going to subtract the 4 over. And now we have our vertex, 7, -4, and our a value is 2. So that wasn't too bad. So to graph it, we go to 7, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our a value over 1 up 2. Over 2 up 4 times a. 4 times 2 would be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's right. And that is it for the second part of our video. Practice until you